So communicating at work, um, there's actually a lot of times where I have to communicate with several different coworkers at work, and I try to be very clear about any issues or any problems. I try to be genuine as far as whenever I'm giving them suggestions or trying to help them any way I can be. So I know one of the stories that I remember, they're usually pretty similar just because my position right now is as inside sales manager. So I do get a lot of coworkers that come up to me asking me, hey, how do you, you know, make calls, and what do you say to these people when you're doing outbound calls or cold calling? And I try to relate myself and put myself in a position to where I remember myself being new and having to ask somebody else that was more experienced as far as like what type of techniques and I guess you call word tracks to use whenever you're calling people just to start a conversation. And when it comes down to it, you can't be too scripted, is what I tell them. You gotta have a basic script, but also you gotta try to play out based on the conversation that you're having with that individual, how to continue the conversation, the sales calls, because everybody's gonna react in different ways. So I try to tell everybody to have fun with it. If you're having a good vibe with the person, maybe crack a joke, keep it appropriate, obviously, and the more fun that you have, the more sales you're gonna have. So I do try to give them like as much guidance as I can think of. But at the same time, I tell them, hey, I'm learning something new every single day. So everything that I'm telling you right now is like trial and error. There's some things that are gonna work better, than others. There's some things that's gonna work for you a little bit better than me. So whenever you see that I'm doing something that you have a suggestion, please let me know too. Just because we're all learning from each other. But the one thing I always try to tell them is like, hey, if I was in your position, or if that was me, this is what I would do. I want to tell them, hey, this is the right way to do something, when it comes to sales, and this is the wrong way. I just tell them like, hey, this is what worked for me. You can try the same thing, you can switch it out, give it a little bit of, just try different things. So, and then I also try to tell them to do things the right way, and then I try to tell them to do things to make it easier to make sales. So a lot of people come up to me just because they see me make the sales quarters that I have, but and then they don't go to other people just because like they don't see the numbers from other people. But I tell them, hey, it's all about having fun. So that's one of the stories, that it's not a particular story, but that's something that I have to deal with every day.